Chapter 2, The First Outing. Dear passengers, electric train departs to Moscow's station. That's how my morning started. Everything changed in just a couple of hours. My mind still refuses to completely accept it. It was like I was sleeping on, and all this way was just a bad dream, a weird and scary one. Our train didn't make it to the appointed destination that day, and people's plans didn't come true. We were walking away from the electric train to the direction of the birch grove. The nature changed its colors. Everything was touched by the pink shadow. The fog wasn't even that heavy. It seemed through the windows of the train the visibility was quite good, but what scared me was that everything was completely silent. The birds weren't singing, the trees weren't rustling in the wind, there was no sounds of cars or rumbles of trains. The only thing I could hear is the beat of my heart and the sound of her footsteps. By the way, where did you get these gas masks? Oh, so you get to find out anyway. Shut up, why do you care? If you want to chat so much, you should have stayed in the train. Or she's not gonna tell us. Calm down, that was just a question. Let's move faster. I think we'll reach the store in about 15 minutes. If we're going to walk that slow, we won't have enough oxygen to get back to the train. And we'll have to stay there. I hope they close the windows and the doors this time. We put on pace. We were walking on the footpath which looked like people walked there often. Then we saw a pond surrounded by beautiful willows. They were so magnificent that even the pink fog couldn't ruin this view. Careful. A few meters, there was a corpse of a bird lying in the footpath. It was probably a crow. So the fog was killing the birds too. Or not just only birds, but all living creatures. Kicked the corpse of the bird, bypass. I carefully bypassed the corpse of a bird. I wanted to stop there and dive into the sinister beauty of nature, shrouded in pink fog, even for just a minute. Don't fall behind the group. Didn't want to fall behind the group, plus it was dangerous. We reached the pond. It looked horrible. The water became pink, just like the fog. Dead fish were swimming to the surface of the pond and bubbles were rising from the water. Eugenie glanced at the pond and started to walk closer to Alexander. It was good that we couldn't smell anything because of the gas masks, or else it would have been terrible. So, Sin, how far is it? Damn it, one more word and I'll drown you in that shit. Checking if it's poisonous or not at the same time. Guess he was really nervous, even though he tried to look confident and tough. I wanted to talk too. Maybe it was because of fear. But I was keeping myself under control. My thoughts were absolute chaos. I couldn't think properly. I even pinched myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. We slowly bypassed the pond and soon would see a road and a low building rising behind a small green field, overgrown with grass. It looked like an ordinary store near the train station. I think I saw someone. Well, I didn't see anyone. I wanted to say that someone has to be inside the store, but then remembered that we didn't have much air and only had to speak when it was necessary. I checked the time on my mobile phone. It was about 3 p.m. The time was running too fast. I thought that I hadn't eaten anything in hours, but I didn't even want to. I guess because of the nerves. I wanted to learn more about the people in our group. Alexander must be a soldier. At least he really looked like one and definitely had gas masks in his bag for a reason. Maybe he did it. Maybe me going with him is my death. Okay, I should ask him later. It was like he kept some kind of a secret. Eugenie. That was easy. He was probably a factory worker on his way to work on the train, just like me. He looked repulsive. He hadn't shaved in days. His hair was short and streaked with gray. A strong odor of alcohol was coming from him, but luckily the gas mask didn't allow us to smell it. Still, there was something good in him too. He did all this work while gathering the people in the first cars, warning them about the danger. He also volunteered to go with us, even though I thought he did it because of a personal reason, thinking that we could go away and leave all those people in the train. What else, maybe later we could see the opportunity to know these people better. We almost reached the point of our destination. My legs were tired because of the fast walking and the smell. If the gas masks were very annoying. We're almost there. Finally we reached the store and the small area in front of it, a parking spot for the cars of the customers. The store wasn't that big. There were 2 cars that were near the store, and we saw a dead body lying on the ground in front of them. The man probably went out of his car when he saw the fog. His eyes were open. Alexander walked in and looked at his face. He is dead. Nice. We all focused our attention on the shop. There was no evidence of anyone being alive in there, but the windows and the doors were closed. It was a good sign. Okay, let's get inside, but quickly. Let this damn thing couldn't get into the building. By this damn thing, he meant the fog. He came close to the door. Our leader opened it and swiftly walked inside. We followed him and closed the door behind us. But we were disappointed. We saw a couple of dead bodies on the floor and another one at the cash register, probably the cashier. The pink fox Hemel got it there too. Eugenie cursed and Alexander slowly walked over to the cash register. Okay, gentlemen, our plan has changed. No one is alive here. We have about half of an hour left. Grab the bags and take all the food that doesn't need cooking. Bread, canned goods, snacks, beverages, and do it fast. I'll get to utility room in case anyone was left there. He nodded and Alexander went out through the door, and we pulled the bags out of our pockets and started to fill them with food. Where were you going on the train today? Same here, but I work like this all the time on weekends. It's my schedule. He went to the other shelf, took something from it and showed it to me. Look, flashlights, they might be useful. I agree. Could you please retrieve some of them and search for batteries? He relaxed. I'm older than you, but it's the end of the world, so stop being so official. After saying this, Eugenie snorted again. I didn't reply. The bag was already full, so he threw it on the floor next to me and went to the cash register. Great. Funny, in any situation, even the verge of life and death, without any idea what's going to happen next, people were thinking about money. Maybe it wasn't going to be the end, and they were never going to live as we had lived before. Maybe there was just going to need money. But I guess he was hoping for the best, and hoping that it was temporary. Maybe his mind, just like mine, wasn't able to realize what was going on. I'll ignore him. I filled my bag and started to put soda and juices into Eugenie's bag. He saw that, came over, and said cheerfully, "Don't forget the most important thing." He started to take beer from the shelves and put it into the bag. Of course, the most important thing. I also saw a pretty expensive bottle of wine on the shelf. What's the big deal if we don't take it or retake it? Soon all the bags were full and we had to wait for our leader to return to the train. Eugenie walked over to the dead body lying on the floor and started to search for something useful in his pockets. Surprised, he was doing that with enthusiasm, almost like a scavenger who eats the lifeless body. He found money and a mobile phone. Yeah, having an extra one is great. Maybe we'll actually need it. After that, Eugenie noticed that there was another door near the one Alexander went out. Well, what do we have here? Turned the flashlight on, searching for anything interesting in the room, but found nothing. Okay, there's nothing in here. Turned back to the hall of the store. Suddenly the door opened and Alexander walked in. There are no one in the utility rooms. The pink fog is here too. I don't understand how it's got inside the building. Wait, let's go back. Damn, we're risking not to make the exchange time. Grab the bags, let's go fast and no talking. Snatched up his bags and went to the door. We took the rest of the bags and followed him. Eugenie looked downcast, and what surprised me, he was silent. It was a big blow to his self-esteem, I thought. Went out of the shop and headed to the electric train. We were out of breath because the bags were heavy and we didn't have much oxygen left in the cartridges. We were returning back home and I was thinking about the situation. What were the only living people here? Where no survivors in the store, how did the dangerous fog get there? What happened to the people in the rest of the world? Soon we reached the pond. Alexander slowed down and was pondering something. He took a small stick and walked closer to the water. What are you doing? Our leader leaned over the pond and selected one end of the stick in the water. It took a few seconds. He took the stick and examined it. When he showed it to us, the wet stick looked like it had some acid and it corroded it. Not too much, but enough for us to understand that. See this? You better not fall into this water. If you see any puddles, you should avoid them. The fog does something to the water. To our luck, there's no puddles, and it wasn't raining. Alexander turned around and threw the stick into the pond. Then he went to the footpath, continuing his way to the railroad, and we followed him. If the fog didn't that to the water, the rain would be deadly dangerous. Would it corrode the roof of the electric train? If the answer was yes, then we weren't going to survive for too long. Hey Commander, my hands are itching, and not just my hands, my whole body. Is that normal? It's weird, I didn't notice that myself. The same was happening to me. You have to hurry up. Then I put up on pace, so we were almost running. The handles of the heavy bags were rubbing our hands, leaving red marks on them. But we couldn't stop even for a minute. And that's the end of that episode. So far this is okay.